Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great day. And today is going to be day two of our 5 day challenge. And I'm just kind of watching to make sure that Instagram cooperates. And we are now live on all platforms. So we are live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at the current moment in time. And this recording will go up on TikTok when we're done. And so today is day two of our 5 day challenge. And I just want to address a couple of things right off the bat because, because it's necessary actually. So I have to change our eligibility rules because yesterday we didn't have a lot of activity on our social media, on the actual posts, etc. But we did get a lot of emails and a lot of messages with the answers to the questions. And that confused me, honestly, a little bit, because I thought that it would be okay to have people participate live and make the comments and stuff on the different social media platforms. But I had a few requests that we not do that because they want to keep their information private. And it's like, okay, who am I to judge, right? So today, we did have one participant who did the assignment on social media. So that person is the automatic winner of the $25 gift card. And I'll reach out to you, Charlene, and we can go from there. But moving forward, I will allow entries, whether to be eligible, whether it's by email or by messenger or whatever, however you want to participate is fine. As long as I know you're participating, that's all that really matters. Okay. So, and then every day, like tomorrow, I will announce the winner of today's. And so we'll keep doing that. But again, and I've updated it on the website as well, so that you can see that it's whether you reply, comment below the appropriate, well, not the appropriate, but the appropriate video that's on our social media, or if you send us a message or if you email us, you will be eligible to be entered. Okay, so that part is out of the way. So today is what we're talking about is the social media. No, it's not. It is choosing the products is what that is. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to do, so choosing your product or services is really what we're talking about today. And why that really matters is because that will actually help you move forward when you're actually doing some of the other challenges that we're going to be doing over the next couple of days. And so, excuse me. And so with that in mind, we're just going to kind of dive in. And this one can be quite challenging for people. Because when you're looking for something, just because you think it's going to sell doesn't mean it's going to, right? So, I mean, those are the kind of things that you have to kind of start looking at. So choosing your product or service is really important. But some of the things to keep in mind for all products or services, and this is just as food for thought, and so that is like, will you need to carry inventory? We've done many businesses, and all of these except one have we done or still do in our business world. And so different things will impact different things. And I mean, I know when we had an online retail store, we had a lot of inventory because you needed to ship, right? And so we had inventory crammed in all sorts of places. We just found some, a year ago after not doing that business for like 4 years. But that part was really fascinating to me. So you just have to be prepared. So if you're going to have something that needs inventory, make sure you have a spot that you can know where it is and it's easily accessible and it's organized. Those are big tips. And then the second one is, will you need to deal with shipping, refunds, quality, or anything like that? Because again, that's another factor you have to consider, right? So as you're planning and you're looking at it, is like, okay, are you doing the shipping? Is somebody else doing the shipping? Are you dealing with the refunds? Is somebody else dealing with the refunds? And the quality? All are factors as to products or services. And then number three is, what is your profit margin and return on investment? And a lot of people don't spend a lot of time looking at this. They kind of think, okay, well, that sounds good, we can do that. Well, break it down and really analyze what that is to you, because in the long run, that's going to impact you, right? I mean, it's just going to. And so the other thing that you have to keep in mind is how much time will you need to put in for each. And those are just for starters. Really break down the entire process so you know what to expect. because as you're going through this, and I do have a worksheet for this, that you kind of need to break it down so that you understand what it is that you're doing, right? That's a huge thing. The other thing is the important questions to really ask are, who controls the product or service? Are you in control or is somebody else? Like with drop shipping, you don't control the product, right? Is it a service that you actually personally give, or do you farm it out to somebody else? Again, important questions for you to ask. And the next one is, and this one is one of my favorites, is because who really controls the money and the profits? And when I say that, it is, how do you get paid? You know, in different companies in different ways, there's different ways to make money, right? And how you're paid all rolls into what that factor is. So when you're looking at it, you really have to actually figure out what it is and how you're getting paid. There's lots of different options. And number 3 is, who controls your online presence, your website, etc. And when I say that is, there's a lot of places in different things that you can actually, you know, you're in control. Like for us right now, we're in control of our website. So today's change of changing the eligibility has already been updated. I did it this morning. So those are the things that you have to kind of keep in mind, is who controls that? Do you have control of that? And one of my favorite ones that really, really matters in the long run is who controls your email list. And when I say that, you know, the power is in the email list. You'll hear it over and over again as to how strong that email list is and how building it is important to any business. Well, if you're not the one controlling the emails, you're not building an email list. And so it's almost like a one-trick pony, if you know what I mean by that. So it means if somebody else is controlling your emails and your email list, they're the ones who are building the email list, not you. So in the long term, the advantages for you are not very good for building an email list. And so, oh, I jumped ahead. I do that here. I apologize for this. We're just going to let this play until we get to the right spot. And so, but not having that control over your email list, and plus, if you don't, how are you going to put stuff on promo? How are you going to let your people know? Those are things that really matter when it comes to having all of these things lined up. And just ask yourself, you may be perfectly fine that you're not the one in control of all of this thing. And that's entirely optional too, right? But you have to know the results. You have to know what it is you're looking for, because those are the crucial things. Because you have to be aware of the risks, right? So there are lots of options, but we're going to look at the 3 most common categories today. And so the first one is physical products. And those are stuff that you can physically touch, right? I mean, obviously, that's pretty obvious. There's digital products, which are things that are just basically, you know, online. They're not anything else. And then services. And so those are the 3 main product or categories. And between them, there's lots of information and lots of options. But those are the ones we're going to look at. So the physical products, like the first one that is a lot of people do, is network marketing. You can call it whatever you want. It could be, you know, multi-level marketing, which is not a bad word for those out there. It's a lot of companies do that. And there's also direct sales companies, which are very similar, meaning that the profit is shared in multiple places, right? In most places. Now, the other thing to keep in mind in this, in the last month, 3 companies, and it's kind of sad for the people who were building the business, 3 companies have changed how their compensation plan works and how their commission structure works. And they removed their MLM strategies, meaning now they just sell products. So the people who were building their businesses and making residual income off their people, that's not happening anymore. And that was sad. And those were Rodan & Fields, Beautycounter, who I don't know, as well as Seint, S-E-I-N-T. So those are the 3 that I've heard of this last month, who are no longer doing, they're going straight affiliate marketing. So that's something to be aware of, because again, you don't control the money or the plan, right? And then number 2 is drop shipping. And with drop shipping can be very lucrative, and there are people out there who make a lot of money at drop shipping, but you have to know the risks. So you have to know that what happens when you do a drop shipping is you don't control the inventory, and you don't control the shipping. None of it's in your control. You control what you sell it for, but you don't even control the costs, because it's not like you negotiated with the company and said, this is what you're going to charge me. They can change their pricing. And, when you're doing drop shipping online, it can be kind of fun. I've had success and I've had a nightmare with different suppliers. So just be aware of what that is involved and really check into it. And then when you're looking at the, make your own products, and this is kind of like, the big Etsy world, which is fascinating actually recently, but I won't go into that here. And so when you're looking at the building the products, making your own products, it could be anything, right? It could be artwork, it could be crafts, it could be, any of that, but that's all stuff that you make. So when you're looking at that, you're going to have inventory, you're going to have, how much time does it take you to make something? Are you going to recover your money when you get that far? Like, those are the crucial things that you have to really look at. And then ready to print products. And this one, there's a lot of people who, like, even on Etsy or different things, make your own t-shirts, you design the logo, you're printing with somebody else, print fulfillment center, and they are shipping it for you, and you're making a margin to the cost as you're setting your retail price and so on and so forth. But when you break it down, really look at what your cost is. Yes, once it's up and running and it just sells by itself, that could be a good thing, right? But you're still reliant on the supplier and the print fulfillment company and shipping and everything else, right? And so you have to pay attention. Because those are the things. And so when you're looking at it, and like I said, each have their pros and cons, but you need to really look at your margins and your ROI, which is return on investment, and whether or not, and what type of inventory, if you do have to carry, what you have to carry. Lots of factors. And so then we get into digital products. And so like digital products are like ebooks. There's a lot of PLR out there. If you don't know what that means, Google it. There's e-learning courses, which is one of the things that we currently do, which are phenomenal, by the way. There's software and software service, which is a totally different category, but it's sort of similar. And then photography. Now, I threw in photography just as kind of like a catch-all, right? So it's meaning it's something that you could do, and you can do it with anything. You can do it with gift cards, you can do it with whatever. But photography is just like a catch. So it's like you're doing something. You're just sending the digital product. So you sell a print or something that you've designed or that you've taken a picture of, and you send it to somebody, and they actually do whatever they want with it, right? So that's kind of what I was going for with the photography. Now, and you can see that there's a lot of planning that goes into everything that you're doing, right? I mean, that just makes sense. There has to be. And there's a lot of research that you need to do to make sure that you're doing it the right way. And so when you're looking at that, that's a perfect thing. So when you're getting to services, there's graphic designs and more, as well as, and so those are like, you're doing a service for somebody. You can do business consulting, and then you can also do a caregiver, caregiver is the one we've never done, by the way. Everything else that I've talked about, we've done, but we've never been a caregiver. And done for other services, done for other services are something that, you're contracted to do, and it's not the same as design. It's similar to graphics and design, but it's not the same. So it's one of those things that you can actually pull out of and kind of do something for somebody else, right? So and each have their pros and cons. And again, that all depends on your skill level and if there's a market for your skills, right? So we go back to the whole niche market, and it's like, what are you good at and will people pay you for it? Those are two of the big things. And I do need my coffee this morning, just for the record. And so when you're looking at those, you have to kind of look at your niche, right? So when you think, things you love to do, maybe you love retail. That's a plus, and you want to sell to people. Maybe there's things that you're good at, and the people will pay for. So that's kind of your niche or a niche. And those are the things that when you're looking at all the products in development, you need to really kind of look at it and go, okay, is this really what it is? Is this what I want? And so on and so forth. Now, the one thing that we have discovered over the last many years is that there's a lot of work. And when I wanted to do a business, I want it to give me more free time. I want it to do a lot more things. So what we do now is really focusing on building our business and its passive income, meaning it will run 24/7. I don't have to do anything. It's all automated. and the sales just happen. And that's one of, for us, which is a saving grace for us. And after all the times we've experimented, this one is the one that we really like. And if you want to learn more about what we do in our business, simply go to our website, bluesquaresuccess.ca, put your email address in, and check out everything. It's all there for you, and you can decide whether or not it works for you. It definitely works for us. The profitability is way better than anything we've done, and our time freedom is, well, we have time freedom, which is not something that we used to have. So on that note, and then now, just as we're moving forward onto the next, as we're just wrapping this up now, to be eligible for today's entry for the $25 gift card, Amazon gift card, within the next 24 hours, starting now, well, probably about 10:30 actually, which is 10:16 our time now. You have to comment below or message or email us with one or to three products or services that you think will work for you. And there is a worksheet that's available at bluesquaresuccess.ca/5 days. That will be up shortly. And so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop us a message, comment below, send us an email. We're here to help. And on that note, everybody have a great day. Take care, and we'll see you soon.